Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are back on Dovetail Games' Riviera line, where we have the last service from Cargo Line Volume 5 Nuclear that I have not tried yet. I've tried the services on West Coast Mainline South, I've tried a couple of the services on Preston Carlisle, but there are a couple of services from Cargo Line Volume 5 on the Riviera line, using the Direct Rail Services Class 66 by Rivet Games, the Mark II F coaches from Just Trains' Class 86 pack, the FNADs, of course, from Cargo Line 5 Nuclear, and yeah, like 4 separate developers. This add-on has a lot of dependencies, so you need Riviera line, of course. You need the DRS Class 66 from the Engineering Express pack. You need the Class 86/2 for the Mark II Fs to show up. The and Cargo Line Volume 5 Nuclear, of course. So yeah, without any further ado, let's hop in and get started. We do have banking comm on, since we do have a rear locomotive. Let's get the safeties on, DSD and TPWS. Shut the fuse cabinet. Let's go daytime headlights, instrument lights on. Turn the wipers on to a good level. There we go. Let's get the brakes. Get the brakes off a bit, and now, before we do anything, I need to hop out the locomotive and head to the rear one, because, yeah, I've tried this service before, and it usually breaks the headlights in this thing, so hop in, turn taillights on, make sure that's off, which it is, lovely. And then we'll go to the back and make sure that it's properly configured. Yeah. Yep, that's very good. So I could just do Control-0 and get back in my cab. I am using with Zartan's live weather mod, which is right. It's tipping it down with rain at the moment. Let's release all the brakes. Notch 2, and away we go. Don't need to use the sander since we don't have too much cargo on today, and we are direct all the way through to Exeter St. David's from here at Plymouth. If I haven't made that clear already, I'm not too sure. And we're off. Let's zoom the map out for housekeeping, so we're heading from here all the way up here. Yeah. The other mod I'm using besides WinZartan's live weather mod is London Midland's signal visibility mod to increase the visibility of the signals so I can actually see them properly. The DRS Class 66 is not equipped with dynamic suspension. However, the Mark IIs, Mark II Fs, and FNADs are equipped with dynamic suspension. I just had a bit of a brain fart there. Well, the Class 66 is limited to 75. The FNADs are limited to 60, so even if the game clears us to 75 or beyond, I'll have to stick at 60 due to the speed restrictions. According to the live weather mod, it is decently raining. Yeah, so I've done a bit of modifications of the settings. It's currently at 3.2 millimeters an hour, but it does show up as more than that in game because I've finagled the settings a bit. Yeah. We have the toughest section of the line ahead of us. Since I do have the banking come on, I can use both locomotives for power usage, which, while not necessary, is very helpful. Ooh. There's some HSTs chugging away there in Lyra Depot. Unfortunately, just, 2 days ago as I'm recording this... Oh, hello, class 220. Nice. Unfortunately, just 2 days ago as I'm recording this, the GWR retired their HSTs permanently, leaving the only British operator of HSTs left in the UK as ScotRail, and even they are replacing their HSTs pretty soon. They're replacing their HSTs with ex-East Midlands Rail Class 222 Meridians pretty soon. So that the icon of British Railways, the HST, will no longer be running around except as rail tour capacity anymore. Yeah. It's ironic, the last time I was on the Riviera line, the live weather mod had to gate. It was basically clear, but now it's tipping it down with rain. Yeah, it's pretty... normally the Class 66 is pretty difficult to, you know, like, handle heavy cargo, but honestly, this is pretty easy thanks to the, thanks to the light load we have at the back. So yeah, if you're wondering why the Mark IIF is in the contest, that's for security, because you're obviously hauling around nuclear material. You need security chaps in there to keep an eye on things. That was a narrow miss under that bridge there, that was. With the power of 2 locomotives behind us, we should be able to get up this relatively steep 2% gradient with some ease. Come on, buddy. Ramp up those amps. That rhymes. HST, castle set. I do love me the HSTs. Can't wait for the Great Western Express remaster, or for the the GWR HST farewell pack. Okay, both locomotives are going at full power. These nuclear Flask wagons are pretty heavy. Right, 21 miles to Newton Abbot, and then it's Exeter St David's. Let's go for notch 7. Come on, buddy. Having to use notch 6 just to try and maintain speed. Oh, I forgot to... I knew I'd forgotten something. Brake, timing, select, goods timing, and then brakes are cut in, I think. Exit that screen. Performance is pretty decent, basically rock solid 60, but you can't see that because I'm recording in 30 FPS normally. So honestly, turn down the instruments just a bit, like 30% would do. Come on. Nope, come on. I want exactly 30%. No, that's... Oh, come on. I saw 30% there for a second. Ah, well. 29% will have to do. Cut the power. This is a pretty relaxing surface. I know, like, a lot of people would probably be sweating right now. In real life, I would definitely be sweating with all the nuclear material in the back. This is I do have to point out that this is this is loaded nuclear flask wagons we have at the back. Not empty, loaded. And, yeah, it's definitely somewhat disconcerting. Seems like a bit of a typical British winter day, doesn't it? Raining, grey, miserable. Nope, I just hit the slow speed rocker switch by accident because it's RNF. It's the RNF keys. Right, shut the power off. Nice viaduct here. That actually looks decent. Hang on, I'll just wait until we're almost off the viaduct and then... yeah. Actually, I'll take one here just in case I forget, but I do want to, hang on, come on, there we go. I do want to take one when we're heading along the coast later. Notch 3, give it notch 4, just try and accelerate it a bit quicker. We do have TPWS installed, but as per usual in TSW is the usual semi-functional TPWS. This part of the route is nice. I do like how there are two distinct sections of the line. There's, well, technically three. There's the bit from Exeter to Newton Abbot, which is like, follows coastline, beautiful scenery sort of thing. Then there's a section from Newton Abbot to Plymouth, which is like, pretty cool, hilly scenery, tough gradients. And then there's a short section from Newton Abbot to Paignton, which is like, somewhat hilly, but still follows the coastline. I do like that. It represents a distinct improvement over the Riviera line in the 50s. And Riviera line, I mean, not Riviera in the 50s. Well, technically both Riviera and Riviera line in the 50s that were released as add-ons back in Train Simulator Classic because they only went from Exeter to Paignton with no branch to Plymouth. Rain absolutely tipping it down outside, sadly, but hey. If this means I do realistic operations, I do realistic operations. Hopefully the direct brake... Ooh, that was a hedge that just clipped through the train. Hopefully the direct brake should be enough to keep us in check on the honestly pretty steep downward grades. Like, I mean, like, I'm serious. These grades are very steep by British standards. just past Ivy Bridge. Obviously we don't have announcements since we are a freight service. This is actually my first freight service on the Riviera. There are some China clay surfaces with the hoppers from the Tees Valley line that you could do, but there's not too much freight on this line. And yeah, this was definitely the most interesting freight service. I am planning on doing a rail tool service with the Class 52, so stay tuned for that. I don't think I've made a video on the Class 52 yet on the channel. You've probably seen it in some of my other videos, but yeah, you'll probably want to see this. Nice autumnal scenery coming through. Ooh, 802, nice. The rail scene on this route, with all the layers enabled, is very, very decent, I must admit. The only layer I actually don't have on this line is Diesel Legends of the Great Western stock, and I know, well, that hasn't caused a reduction in services, it means you just won't see it, and while I don't, yeah, I have said in the past that I'll never get Diesel Legends. The rolling stock, I still stand by the 1980s timetable for GWE, since that's a modern route set in 2015, and I don't think it really works. But the Diesel Legends stock is getting a full upgrade for the remastered version of Great Western Express, so I'm thinking of finally picking up GWE, Diesel Legends, I mean, just for some layers. "13 miles to Newton Abbot, and we're still heading downhill." One thing, speaking of the GSMR, one thing I am really looking forward to is the working GSMR that's going to come in the Southeastern Class 375/3-inch/6 that we're getting in the Medway Valley Line DLC that's upcoming by Firefly Simulations coming next year. And yeah, Like, we'll be able to talk to the dispatcher, go have a back and forth with him, with them, dial in the head code, all of that. So it'll be even more immersive than the GSMRs that you get on Armstrong Powerhouse products from Train Sim Classic. Because all you can do on those is dial in the head code. You can't talk to the dispatcher. So if it's pulled off, which I suspect it will, since Firefly simulations are pretty decent modders from back in the day. They were like Firefly, and as individuals, members of the Firefly simulations team were able to pull off some amazing mods for TS Classic, like not TS Classic, Train Sim World, like the West Coast Mainline South Enhancement Pack, 5 Circle Enhancement Pack and Timetable, stuff like that. And if they're able to, if they're able to translate that into a Train Sim World add-on, I think the sky's the limit, really. And I really do mean it. Like, honestly, like, just Train to better watch out, because Firefly, while not being in the same target market, to be fair, Firefly seem to be focusing on the modern British stuff, while Just Train focuses on the 1980s stuff, mostly. I think Firefly simulations are definitely going to cause a lot of good trouble in the community. Oh, crumbs. Did not mean to keep the direct brake in that long. Let's give it notch 2. Under 10 miles to Newton Abbot. Haven't seen any other trains. The Riviera can honestly get pretty lonely on occasion. But hopefully, once you get past Newton Abbot, the line should start getting a lot more busy, thanks to the added traffic coming to and from Paynton, which is not insubstantial. %, downhill now. Direct brake is beginning to struggle, if I'm being honest, on the braking front. I've been playing a lot of the Riviera line recently, and while it's been fun, it can get quite tiring having to constantly adjust to all the gradient changes from on the Plymouth to Newton Abbot section, which is why I prefer, if I'm just hopping in a free roam, like not like a free roam surface, but I'm hopping in a timetable surface without hitting the record button, I'm just gonna do, I prefer doing Exeter to Paynton or Paynton to Exeter, yeah, or something like that. Here's... what is this? Can't remember the name of this station. Totnes, that's the one. Class 802, of course. I think this is the first time I've ever used the bypass line. I think not too many services use the bypass line for this station. Right. There's the... where is that? The South Devon? Ooh! And a Crompton! Nice! Along with some WSR Mark 1s. That's the West Somerset Railway Class 33 is 33 Crompton. That is a very nice unit, and it like the 33, despite its age as a DLC, is absolutely brilliant. Like Dovetail Games is Liam. Sorry, Grub Dog Games is Liam. Keep getting them mixed up. Actually updated the Class 33 and the 52 from that route with dynamic suspension about a year ago now, which is very nice. Oh, hello. Okay, slow down, bud. 4. Gradient is getting pretty steep. How far to Newton Abbot? Just 4 miles. Lovely. Still losing speed. Come on, bud. Come on. Having to use notch 5 to maintain speed as we approach, get somewhat close to Newton Abbot. I almost said approach Newton Abbot. We're nowhere near it. Still got 3 miles to go. Is anyone... Oh, hello. Got 150 heading to Paynton from Exmouth. We've also got a Paynton to Paddington service, which is probably an 802, and then we've got U, which is a Leeds to Plymouth, which is probably a 220. Yeah, we won't see another train for a bit, I don't think. Well, there was a train. Oh yeah, Penzance to Edinburgh. That's another 220. Penzance to Edinburgh. Oof. Isn't that one of the longest services in the UK? No, it's not, because I think Cross Country does a Penzance to Aberdeen service that goes the entire length of the UK. Cut the power. But, like, yeah, imagine taking the service all the way from Penzance to Edinburgh. I bet you only a couple of people do every year, but oof. That would take like what, 7, 8, 9 hours? They'd probably have to have a driver change too. Only 1.5 miles to Newton Abbot. Speed limit goes back up to 60, finally. How's performance doing? Still like 50 FPS, which is decent, but yeah. There's actually a bug in the core gate, in the Train Sim World core, where train textures aren't unloaded once they go past you, which I've finally figured out is the cause of my diminishing frame rate issue that's been plaguing me for 6 months now or more. And while it's not it's the same thing that's causing blurry textures on consoles, and because computers can take more memory, I haven't been getting the blurry textures, but consoles have. So I really hope that issue is fixed, because that would improve, because I think Dovetail are planning on patching it very, very soon. There's a 220. Nice. Double 220. Nice. The 220 is my favorite train to drive on this line. Really do like it. We do have a red signal coming up. Ah. It's probably due to that stupid go via. So we'll have to be careful. Keep the direct brake on just in case this turns out that this is not a go via signaling thing. Just to bring us our speed gently down. But once we go past Newton, from here on we should have relatively flat grades, since we're basically at sea level, or just a couple of meters above it. So hopefully, yeah, we won't have too many other grades to worry about. 40 miles an hour is decent. Keep it at it for now. We do have a 40 warning board, but not for our track. Come on, change. Come on, change. No, it's not changing. It's not a go via signal. Right, okay. Slowing down. Ah! I thought nuclear trains were supposed to have priority, but oh well. Let's get down to like 20 miles an hour. Glad I didn't continue on at 40, that would have been bad. Alright. Alright, let's get some proper brakes going. Onto the brakes, and we just got a warning light. Oh, wheel slip. Turn the standing stick back on. I should have had the standing stick on for that stop, but oh well. What is causing the blockage? Please tell me it's something easily identifiable. Aha! It's the painted to Paddington, that 802. Thankfully, he'll be a lot faster than we are, so hopefully he'll shoot ahead of us pretty quickly, but yeah. We've basically made our way over the first distinct half of the route today. There's our single yellow. Let's give it notch 3. Let's also give it a bit of sand. And off we go. That wasn't too long a wait. Thank you, Train Sim World, for not making that too long a wait. I hate when you get stuck at a signal for a good long while. Hate that. Absolutely hate that. Notch 6 already. Lovely. We do have... Okay. We do have a red signal coming into Newton Abbot, so I'll just stick at this speed for a while. Oh, frame rate has suddenly dropped. It's now like 37 FPS. But to be fair, Riviera is not too hard on the old frame rate. I just hit the engine start button. Right. Hopefully that 802 is already outdoing us on the speed front. One thing I am hoping for in the Great West Express remaster, speaking of the Class 802, is that I really hope the 802 gets a couple of services on Great Western Express just to show like what is it? What was I thinking? Like just to show like test services that they would have been running at the time. But I don't even know if they were introduced at the time, so please do let me know down in the comments. Honk horn. Right, straight through Newton Abbot. The 802's already given us a green signal, which is very nice. We're already back up towards 60, with 14 miles to Exeter. Well, do bear in mind that is 14 miles in a straight line from here to here, so we probably have like 20 miles, but that shouldn't take too long to accomplish. At 60, should be like 20 minutes tops. Right, shut it down. I just hit the parking brake. Ugh. At least the parking brake. Don't want to apply it at speed, that's for sure. How's the live weather mod? Okay, precipitation has decreased. Track wetness is still high, cloudiness is still high. Right. Now we're gonna start following this river estuary here, and then start paralleling the, what is it? The channel. I'll just call it the channel. I'm not entirely sure of the correct geographical term. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I know the scenery isn't like the best in the world. I know for certain that Hest Bank on Preston Carlisle or Morecambe looks a lot better than this, but as like TSW is a delicate balance between quality and performance. Like there are some routes which are definitely more on the performance hungry side, whether it's because of the timetable or it's because of the like scenery detail. This is definitely one of the less performance hungry routes, and I think that's because it's optimized well, at least partially for Gen 8 consoles, when those other two routes I talked about aren't really optimized for Gen 8. So I think this route is a decent balance between performance and quality. Like the performance is definitely quite good. That's still 60 FPS. Normally the FPS would have started to diminish by now. We'll be clear up to 80 in a minute, but I won't be because, well, I'm limited to 60 by the wagons I'm carrying. Look at us go. Oh, hello. No, I stopped in Teignmouth. Brakes. Ugh. Shut up. The 802 that we're following, who's heading to Paddington, it has currently stopped in front of us. Ooh, 150. Nice. Double 150. Do like the sounds on that. Really do like the sounds on that. Just wish we weren't getting stopped behind trains. The direct brake is slowing us down nicely, but that 802's it's going to stop at Dawlish. Probably. Might even stop at some other stations along the line. Come on, bud. Just change to green. I love how with the signal visibility mod you can see these signals from so far away. It's very helpful when the train you are in doesn't have safeties. Well, at least not conventional safeties or, yeah, stuff like that. Oh, hello. Let's apply the direct brake. Oh, crumbs. Onto the brakes. That was a bit close for comfort. Oh. Right, hang on. Come on. Let's get out of here. Notch 3. Notch 6. At least we can, thankfully, thanks to our relative lack of cargo. Teignmouth. Yay, we're on to my favourite bit of the route. The bit along the Dawlish seawall. Alright, horn. I've probably been missing quite a few whistleblows. We do have a 60 limit coming up, but we're fine since we're already supposed to be doing 60. Oh no. Single yellow. Brakes on. How's performance? 40-ish. That's more than decent. Yeah, I believe Mr. 802 has made a stop at Dawlish, which he has. Hopefully he doesn't stop anywhere else on his way up to Exeter. Easy does it. I think it is starting to... rain seems to be holding at a lower level. Thought I just saw the signal change. It didn't. That's why I put this... Right, let's put the brakes on. So we're at a decent distance from the signal. Hopefully we should stop in time for a... There we go. Brought to a halt. Right. What's happening? Oh. The London Paddington to Newquay. Paddington to Paddington just leaving now. So I assume Paddington to Newquay, that has to be a GWR service. Alright, come on buddy. Yeah. Both locomotives running at full steam. Well, not steam, of course, they're diesels, but, yeah. Is that another train? I think that has to be, right? Yeah, it is. Yep, as I thought, it's an 802 to Newquay. Get a good shot here. Ah, the hedge blocks the way. I'll probably get a shot at Dawlish. Dawlish. I know exactly where I'll take the shot. The screenshot. I want to go... Dawlish is one of the few stations in the UK I want to go train spotting in real life because, yeah, like just look at that scenery. That looks so good. Zoom in just a tad. Do it like that. Some scenery in the background. There we go. Through We're on the home stretch now. 11 miles to Exeter. Game performance is doing pretty well at 42 FPS. Oh, there's a 166. Hello, mate. From Great West Express. We drove that in our last video. Still following the Dawlish seawall and coming up on Star Cross. Come on. Star Cross. Oh, another HST castle set. come on. Five and a half miles to Exeter. Right, under 4 miles to go. What was that? I didn't see what that was. That was a 150. Here's Marshbarton, one of the newest stations on the Riviera line, just opened in March of 2025, or April, somewhere around the springtime. do have a yellow signal ahead. How's performance? 37 FPS is decent for this long of a run into the game. We do have a signal. Ah, I see you, bud. Yep, the paint into Paddington is blocking us again. Put on the brake. 700 yards to Exeter, and we haven't arrived yet. Come on, let's just get going, game. Let's release most of the direct brakes since we are on a level grade. Yeah, there we go. Oh, come on. What time? 11:43. Ah, we're here for the next 1.5 minutes. So he should have left by now. Yep, there he goes. Oh, there we go. Alright, here we go. Let's go up to about 20 miles an hour. There we go. Looks as ooh, we have an East Midlands Class 158 there. That obviously East Midlands trains never ran here in real life while they were a train operating company. That is a stand-in for the Southwestern Rail Class 159 sprinters. Because yeah, we don't have them in game, and Southwestern are very unlikely to give us a license at this point. Oh goodness, 23 FPS. Yeah, see what I meant about diminishing frame rate? Come on, full brakes. And there we go. Welcome to Exeter. Platinum medal. And so yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. I do hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.